Filipino-American-Greek actor Bautista leads a group of mercenaries on a heist in a zombie-infested Las Vegas. Army of the Dead, a film directed by Zack Snyder, premieres today on Netflix. And I got to talk to Bautista. He told me what the movie was all about and what makes it different from the other zombie films.
And I'm stealing this from Zack Snyder, but he said this. He said it's like a genre deconstructed, and it really is, because it's not your typical zombie film. It's almost an unfair label. It does fall into that genre, but it's almost because it's so layered and there's so many things going on. It's almost like the zombies become a backdrop, and we don't really focus. We're not dependent on the gore, the over gratuitous gore of zombie films. There's just so much going on. There's so much to contribute to this film, and also there's so many different elements of the zombies, and so many interesting elements of having zombie or alpha zombies. Zombies that are intelligent, and they're fast, and they're not shamblers just walk around mindless, aimlessly. But it's a whole different aspect of zombies. There's something very human about them as well. So do you empathize with these zombies or not? So it's really kind of a fine balancing act with this film. But also, you throw in the heist factor, and you throw in the relationships, and you throw in the redemption story of Scott Ward, because to me, this film is really a redemption story. If I threw out everything else, this is just a redemption story from a guy who just wants to reconnect with his daughter, and that's what sold me on this part. Because initially I wasn't even interested, because I didn't want to do an action film. I wanted to act. And so when I saw this, I read the script and I saw what an opportunity it was. I jumped all over it, because it's an opportunity for me to be an actor, to be a guy who's playing kind of a tortured soul, somebody who just wants to reconnect with his daughter, but also at the same time play a complete badass. So this is really, I'm accomplishing a lot in this film.
Now, a little bit of your Filipino background for all of your Filipino fans out there. I mean, did you grow up in a typical Pinoy household with your adobo, lumpia, karaoke? You name it. Did you grow up in that?
I did. What's funny is because my mother was Greek, and I was raised with the Filipino side of my family. My mother was Greek, but my grandmother taught my mother how to cook for my father. So she taught him how to cook Filipino food. So even when my mother and my father weren't together, my mother still raised me on Filipino food. So I was always raised on Filipino food. And I also, I grew up back and forth between DC and San Francisco. And there's such a large Filipino community in San Francisco. So I was just always very much in touch with that side of my family and my roots. And but mostly, through friends who are Filipino, and through, food. We all gathered around for
something
food.
About Filipinos and food, it just brings us all together. Before I do let you go, last question. You spoke about acting. What would you say would be your actor's piece or your dream role? You have always been out there to save the world. What is it that you want to do? Any other characters that you'd like to play? I mean,
I just, I don't know who that perfect character is, but if I could do a film, I really love doing inspirational films. I love films that inspire me. And I would love to portray a character who's just inspiring, whether he be fictional, non-fictional. I don't know who that character is. But I believe that the route to playing that character is roles like this that will open people's eyes and see me in a different light, see me as a well-rounded performer, a well-rounded actor. Because sometimes when you're a person who looks like me, who people only want to cast as action heroes, it's hard to get those really deep roles, those really meaningful and inspirational roles. So I'm hoping this will open even more doors for me, but I don't know who that character is. But believe me, I'm searching for him, and one day I hope that I have that character who is just a complete inspiration to people and just makes people want to be better human beings. I'm searching, and if I have to create that character, I will.
Well, I do hope you find that character. You have been through a lot. I mean, you're really tough on the outside, but I know you have that Filipino heart on the inside. And we do wish you all the best. Thank you so much. And of course, Army of the Dead out soon on Netflix.
Yeah, thank you.